Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gamers Roundtable Podcast. Here's a place where we can all get together and discuss the news and events going on in the gaming industry, from influencers to new tech. So today we're going to discuss a couple different topics. We're going to discuss the new 50 series release. We're going to discuss Space Engineers 2, and we're also going to talk about the new Kingdome Come Deliverance. So stick around, and if you like our content, please give us a like and maybe even a sub if you really like it. All right, Kev, let's get into the 50 series cars. What do you think?
I think all around they're really good. The price to performance for the 5090, in my opinion, is still not there. Still too pricey for $2,000. The
Yeah,
5080, I think for 1,000 might be all right.
yeah, definitely $2,000 is a little bit much. I mean, is there really all that much gain in it? Like, do you really get that much more over a 5080?
Well, I mean, performance wise, not really. For like gaming, and in my opinion, you wouldn't. You probably get more beneficial stuff from like editing, Photoshop, and all that
Yeah,
stuff with a 5090.
probably a little bit more of a workhorse. Probably gives you a
Yeah.
lot more on the work side of things. As for me, what I always would say to people out there, if you had the 4070 series, I wouldn't worry about upgrading to the 50 series. And even if you have lower than a 4070, if your computer still runs everything that you want to run and it runs good, don't worry about spending this money. You don't have to be the PC master race. What do you think about that? You think I'm pretty well accurate with
I
that?
mean, you're not wrong. From like reports are saying from like Gamers Nexus and stuff, you're only getting 10% to almost 30% increase in frames. Your average frames on top of that.
Yeah. And something else
Now,
about these, they're not actually like rendering the pixels, are they? It's a lot of AI being used to make the pixels,
a lot of AI generation
AI
has gone.
generated pixels now, right?
Yeah.
That's not,
The DLS4 is what it is
yeah.
now. So,
So what
I
kind of
mean,
prices are we looking?
so from what I can see, I mean, 4070, I mean, not 4070. The 4070 is a good card. If you have one, I wouldn't worry about upgrading just yet.
No, I wouldn't either.
But the 5070, I think, is by far the best price to performance at 549. You probably won't pay about $600 after all said and done on taxes and
Yeah.
stuff,
The 50,
depending on where you live.
the 70 series, like their 5070, that's always been like a sweet spot for me. That's
Yeah.
always where I buy in because I think that's good value for the price. And it's generally a good upgrade from whatever you had before, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Normally it is. The thing I don't really make sense to me is the fact that there's almost a $300 price difference between the 5070 Ti and the regular basic
Yeah.
5070. That $300 price difference is not enough for justifiable prices.
Now, something I did read today that's kind of got me a little bit like, what the fuck? Is it says, um, let me actually, it said the connectors should not melt.
Oh, if you didn't
So,
know about
what the
that,
fuck?
so when the 30 series and the 40 series got those new connectors, dude, they was literally melting and catching on fire. In some cases, it actually burnt down the owner's house.
That seems like a serious issue. With as much time as they put into building these cars, you'd think that, hey, maybe the power delivery method's not exactly what we need.
Well, you figured that, but with that being said, the new power connector has allowed for the 4090 and the 5090 to exceed in places where power was limited.
Yeah. Yeah.
This due to the fact that we went from massive like two 12 pins or two 8 pins to a one connector that can go up to like I think 500 watts, maybe
Yeah.
more now. So
I know the 4090 is like 530 some watts
yeah.
is what it's pulling. I know I not 4090, 5090. I'm sorry out there, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about my fuck ups.
So this is the requirements for a 5090. What they recommended is 1,000 watt PSU for your 5090,
Yeah,
and but
that's
that's also probably including the
that's not. I mean, that's
yeah.
pretty understandable. I mean, I got a pretty powerful power supply unit in this computer I'm using now, and like hell, I just have the 2070 in it right now.
Well,
So I
the
mean,
maximum wattage it could use is 600.
yeah,
So But that's also not saying like, when another manufacturer like MSI or ASUS comes out, we'll probably see 650, 700, maybe more.
Yeah. So the RTX 5070 and Ti will be in February. That'll come out in February, along with the
Yeah,
5070 as well. So what we do know is the 5070 series aren't coming out January 30th. That'll be coming out sometime in February, right?
pretty much. I know today, I think is the day that you can go out and buy 5090 at stores and stuff at certain locations.
I don't see anything about that on my notes. I don't know exactly.
Actually, no, it's available January 30th.
Okay.
I think you can put your pre-orders now in like at Best Buy and stuff like that
Yeah.
to get them ready.
I know when I do decide to build a new computer later this year, I'm probably gonna go with the 5070 Ti. I think that will probably be the best bang for my buck. You know.
Well, yeah, 100%. You just got to make sure you get you a good, decent CPU
Oh,
with that.
absolutely. Now, on to our next segment. We've got the new Switch 2, which is unconfirmed on a release date exactly. But I've heard that it's probably going to come out sometime around June, and it's got some pretty major titles coming out with it. What do you think about some of the major titles they got coming out, Kevin?
Well, I mean, Pokemon. You got Pokemon Legends. You got Zelda coming, and you also got Mario Kart coming with it as like one of the games that's going to probably boost the sales in it because who doesn't like Mario Kart?
Mario
Let's be
Kart 9 will absolutely boost sales. That is
Oh,
guaranteed.
100%.
And like I have the original Switch, and one of my main complaints about this is how small the controllers are. And what it seems like, reading some of the stuff that we do have available, it seems like they've improved the controller size and also may have improved the screen size a little bit. So that's some very well regarded changes that people are going to enjoy, I think. I'm not
Oh
a
yeah,
I
go ahead.
myself I'm not a huge Nintendo fan, but like it's fun to sit and play Mario Kart with the wife. She wants to play Mario Kart. We'll battle down. And I'll kick her ass.
Damn straight. That's the only way to do it.
Hey, just because she's a woman, man, don't mean I'm going to let her win a Mario Kart.
Damn right. And it looks like they also got a price tag too, by the way, John. It's going to be $4.99 at launch.
Damn, that's a bit for a Nintendo, ain't it? Like what?
I'm
I know I bought my Switch for $2.99.
Well, you
So I
also
mean,
got to think from the looks of it, it's also coming with like an OLED screen and all that stuff
yeah.
too. That's
Well,
probably their OLED
yeah,
version of it.
that's not too bad then. That's not bad at all.
No, not bad at all, especially for a really good like screen. I mean, if they make it bigger than what it is now, I wouldn't have no complaints.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. I think it'll be all right. I think it'll sell a lot. Nintendo always sells a lot, so it's not really a worry on that. I just hope that Nintendo can come out with some games that aren't like trying to put Call of Duty and shit like that on the Switch because it just don't look good. And like I've got a couple games that uh Street Outlaws. I have a Street Outlaw game for my Switch. It is absolute dog shit. It's dog shit. Like that's definitely not what they should have put on this console.
And see, I got a thing with that, with you just talking about how they just put games from, like first person shooters and all that stuff on there. I don't buy a Nintendo console to play those games. I'll buy a Nintendo console to play games like Mario and stuff like that and
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Who buys a Switch to play Call of Duty? Who buys
I
a
can only
Nintendo to play
I
Call of Duty?
I can only think of one person. I'm not going to mention his name because we went to school with him. But he's the only person I know that bought a Nintendo console or handheld just to play Call of Duty
No,
Modern Warfare.
it just don't make any sense, man. Like a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5, general same price. I mean, not same price, but it's in the ballpark.
Yeah,
So I mean, if anybody wants to play Call of Duty, that's what they're going to play it on. That or an Xbox or a PC like us.
exactly.
Now,
Now,
go ahead.
with that being said, though, I mean, we don't know the performance of what it's going to offer and like the actual like graphics, John, like the new graphics
That's
stuff that they're adding.
That's true, but I think I can make a well educated guess on the previous Nintendo game consoles that it's not going to be comparable to the PS5 or the Xbox One. And if it
Exactly.
is, I'll be surprised, and I'll admit to you guys that I'm wrong when I'm wrong. So we'll see.
Exactly.
However, let's move on to the new game that we both know quite a bit about. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think it releases on the 4th of next month.
No.
So it's already riled some people up. So there's already quite a few issues with this game so far, and a lot of people are complaining that they have become woke. Um, I've seen that Saudi Arabia had actually banned the game due to a same-sex scene that you can't skip. So Saudi Arabia has already banned the game, which that's pretty normal for Middle Eastern countries to not really be accepting of that. And like, I'm not getting political by any means on this. I don't care what people do. I don't care what people do. I don't. But we shouldn't. Players shouldn't be forced to sit and watch that if they don't like that. You know.
Exactly.
So
Forcing
no.
that down people's throats is only going to add backlash to your video game.
Absolutely. And we all know that it's been pretty well known that you go woke, you go broke in video games.
Exactly.
And it's happened quite a few times. I'm not going to list all the games off here. You can do a simple look, games that went woke, did they go broke? Just search that up in Google. You'll find many games. And I know that Kingdom Come Deliverance had a lot of backlash for not being very inclusive. But you also have to think in the early 12th, 13th centuries, there probably wasn't a whole lot of variation, you know.
Yeah,
It's a historically, I'm not saying it's exactly historically accurate game, but it is based a lot on a historical events. So I mean, you know, when you're making a historically accurate game, that's part of it, and that's just how
exactly.
that works. So I'm I'm a little apprehensive with the game right now. I'm not sure that I'm going to buy it on launch. I would not pre-order, and I'm also going to tell you I wouldn't pre-order on another game later in the show. It's just pre-ordering is not good. Pre-ordering fucks us, the consumers. So what you do when you pre-order a game is you're giving the developer and the publisher money for that game before they even got to produce the game, before you get it,
Exactly.
before they even got to finish it. That just shows them like, hey, we don't have to put that much work in this. We've already got, let's say, I know back in the olden days, Call of Duty used to bring in millions of dollars in pre-orders. Millions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but also with that though, hold up, before you even say that, pre-ordering a game back when we was younger, you just didn't pre-order the game. You pre-ordered the experience of going and buying a game on launch or getting the game on launch
That
day.
is true. The old GameStop launches were something to be had. They were fun.
It
They were
it
exciting.
was it was a massive tailgate party. That's all it was for games. That you sit there and you
Big
waited in
games.
line. Oh yeah. I remember Gears of War sitting there waiting for people. It was an amazing time. I mean, all we did is drink Mountain Dew, eat Doritos, and have a good time eating pizza.
We can tell you eat Doritos and Mountain Dew. Anyway, but like, I agree with that. But nowadays, there's no reason to pre-order games. They're not going to run
No,
out. The main reason I used to pre-order games when I was younger and played Call of Duty and go to GameStop is because in those days, downloading digitally wasn't as accessible as it is now. We're talking 2008, 2009, 2010. So it wasn't as accessible. I mean, at that time, my internet was probably like maybe 10 megs download,
I
upload.
don't even think that. I mean, we maybe
Probably not
had a
even that.
meg. Yeah, we
Yeah,
might had a
probably.
meg up and
Probably
meg
something around
down.
that. And that's the difference between then and now. Now everything is mostly digital. They're not going to run out of that digital copy. So quit sending these people y'all's money. Because all you're doing is telling them, hey, we don't give a fuck what you make. We're going to buy it. We're going to pre order it. And if they get millions and millions of dollars on pre orders, what's the incentive to fix the game, to make the game good where people would want to buy it after it comes out? After people like me do a review on it and post it on here for hundreds, maybe thousands of people to see. You know,
Exactly.
that's the issue. And
You see,
I believe 100% that more people need to come watch YouTubers play the game, streamers play the game, and that's where you can make your decision. Does this game work worth a damn? Is this game good? Watch reviews before you buy stuff. We need to quit buying these garbage games, or we're gonna keep getting these garbage games that we've been getting.
well, that's like anybody these days. You want to go buy a car, right? Well, if the car's been up for a while, you want to go do your research on it. Normally, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guess where you're going to find that information out? YouTube.
A good chunk of it,
Take,
yeah.
takes literally less than a minute to find all that information. So why don't people do that with video games? No one knows. Simple as that. No one really knows why they do it. They just do it. Just I guess it's like a compulsory reaction or something like that. It's just they have to do it.
I agree with you, man, 100%. And one major thing about this to me is they're saying there's already multiple planned DLCs within the first year. I'm not certain about that, man. Like when I get DLCs relatively quick after a game launches, I'm like, so is this stuff that I should have been in the game, but now I have to pay to get the extra stuff added to the game that should have been in the game? That's kind of what always hits me with recent DLCs after launch. So I'm not certain about that. And I've read through a lot of it, and there's a lot of free and a lot of paid DLCs. So we'll see how that turns out. I can't say that I'm a huge fan of that right now, though, to be honest with you. I'm
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna get Kingdom Come Deliverance quick. I'm probably gonna wait and see what other people say about it first, because I don't want another woke game. I'm not woke. I'm not right or left in the spectrum. Let's go ahead and put that out there. But like I don't care. I don't care. I'll be
You
plain
just want to
simple.
be left alone in game and do
Yeah.
your own thing.
I don't give a fuck. Plain and fucking simple. You know?
Yeah,
That's all I have
exactly.
to say
I
about
mean,
it. I don't give a fuck.
when I game, all I want to do is just sit here and just destroy something. I could care less about anything else.
And the first game is absolutely fantastic, guys. And if anybody's watching this and you stick with us this long, do yourself a favor. Wait till you see Kingdom Come Deliverance on sale. It usually goes for like $5.99 or $8.99 or something like that. And get this game, play it, beat it. You will not enjoy any other game better than this. It's a well-made game, and I have to give them props for that. It's one of the best games I've ever played. I love it. I play it all the time.
Yeah, I watched him play like 14 hours straight.
I
So I
bought you the
mean,
game. You still ain't fucking played it, bitch.
let's not talk about that.
All right, guys, let's move on to the last segment. We're going to talk a little bit about Space Engineers 2. So, Space Engineers 2 is an active development. It's being released on the 27th of this month, so it will be exciting to see how this game unfolds over the months, maybe years. I know if it's anything like the first one, it's going to take a while before we get a full game. I'm a huge fan of Space Engineers 1, and so is Kentucky here. We've played thousands of hours between us both. Currently playing right now, and as soon as this podcast is recorded, we're going to go back to playing some more Space Engineers.
Oh, 100%.
Right here in just a few minutes. So, there's a lot of stuff that I've seen that I'm excited for. But first, let's get on to what's going on right now. So, it's coming out on the 27th. It's going to be coming out in creative mode. There's not going to be a multiplayer right now. The multiplayer is going to be a little bit behind, which kind of sucks. And if it was me, I'd probably have put the multiplayer out. Like, it doesn't have to be this big time fixed multiplayer, it can be just peer to peer multiplayer. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to have dedicated servers right now, which is why they're pushing it back, because they're building dedicated servers for Space Engineers 2, which is a great improvement. I'm glad to see that. I'm more than excited and happy to see that. I just wish that if me and Kentucky both got the game, that we could play together in creative. Because survival's not coming for a while either, so we'll see how that goes. I know it's supposed to come in vertical slice 2 or 3 or something like that. I don't quite
Yeah.
remember.
Well,
However,
peer
we've
to peer. Go ahead.
However, we've seen a lot of stuff that makes me very interested. I'm so excited for this water, the liquid water instead of just having like ice. Liquid lakes, liquid oceans is going to be fucking insane, guys. I can already see the different submarines that we're going to build, the underwater bases that we're going to build, all this crazy stuff. It's so exciting. Also, that also adds some more things to it. Think about this. Imagine if we build a dam and we build
Oh,
a contraption to have a turbine where it spins this and it generates power. That is going to be so fucking awesome.
well, I already have a plan for our first build on there. We're building a dam, and I'm building a way to pump up water to the base because I am not going out of my way and go farming for that shit.
And something that I do hope they do with this game is give us more, help make the environment, help make the universe feel more alive. And I know
Exactly.
they've really worked towards that with some of the last updates they've done for Space Engineers 1, and I'm eternally thankful for that. I've been using modular encounters for years just so I can have that, and now that I got some of that on vanilla gameplay, it's amazing. I love it, and I hope they continue that on with Space Engineers 2. What's your opinions on that?
Well, I mean, I'm all for your reasons why you want to, like, you can't wait for it and, and wanting to play it and all that stuff. And the only thing I could ask for that comes from the game is I just hope they bring back, bring better terraforming for us when we go to build our bases and stuff. Because I ain't gonna lie, there's been times that we've been hindered because, like, doesn't matter what we do, we can't make the ground flat enough, and we can sit there and be picky all damn day. But
Yeah,
it would be nice to have a flat ground
yeah,
that we can build on.
I wish there was a block or some kind of machine that we can use that we can build and do that with.
Exactly.
It's
I
just
mean, we can make a drill and have that thing just make a pass, but that's not
yeah.
what I want with terraforming. What I mean terraforming is like compacting the dirt down and making it to where it's like level,
And we want to
and
be
we
able to
don't
do this in survival, not
exactly.
creative. Because I think you can do something similar to that in creative with what they call voxel hands. I don't play creative. Very rarely do I ever touch creative in this game. So I'm not very well adversed with that.
I think we touched creative one time, and that was when we was in the process of building a blueprint for a ship
Yeah.
that we was going to put up on
hmm
the community market thingy.
And guys, if y'all want more outside of this podcast on that, you can check one of my videos. I've got a video where I react to the launch trailer of Space Engineers 2. But like, dude, I'm so excited. This is going to be like my game if it comes out halfway as good as Space Engineers 1. So a couple
Oh,
things that kind of bother me with it is I see that they're going to try and make it more with the less of a learning curve. So that's interesting to see. I did like Space Engineers because of the difficulty it's got to it. So we're
I
just going to
mean,
see how that turns out.
I'm with you on that. And I think that's a important part of Space Engineers is the fact that it was difficult.
Yeah.
You have to learn to do things in the game in order to actually make stuff work correctly.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm probably not going to get it on launch. I'm going to wait till multiplayer comes out because multiplayer is where I have my fun at. I like being able to play with my homies on there. So I'm probably going to wait a little while. But as soon as I get it, guys, I will make sure to let y'all know how it is.
What he means by he likes playing with his homies is he likes putting me on the ground, keeping me to work.
Yeah, he's my mind boy. Right. And guys, I'm sorry. I know we didn't have a whole lot to discuss this week. It's been kind of a slow week for news. I mean, we do have a couple good games coming out. We do have some good stuff happening. We got new graphics cards coming out. We've got some new games coming out. So it's a good time to be a gamer. And guys, if y'all like this short episode, let us know in the comments. It's definitely not our last week's episode, but we just have less to talk about. And hopefully we shall see a third with us next week.
Yeah,
All right,
hopefully.
guys. If y'all liked it, you know what to do. Hope y'all have a good week.